The importance of getting this annual training for everybody who uses an IT system, which is all of us these days, is so great. But how do you deliver the training? What modes do you give? Do you give people a textbook, or how do you deliver this? How do you make it interesting?
Well, this might sound a little bit woolly, but what we use is conversation, because textbooks, PowerPoint presentations, the annual online e-learning, they've been around for a while, haven't they? And I don't know about you, but I probably haven't changed my behaviour after reading a poster, after going through my annual computer-based training. But it's when we have a conversation with somebody that can give it context, and somebody that can give it meaning, and somebody that can make it relevant for me, then I do change my behaviour. So we work a lot with conversation, and the methods that we use are to help those conversations have a place, have a format, have some focus, so that they can be delivered through the organisations by the people who can give them meaning, make them relevant. And what that allows is it's sort of that two-way eyes and ears. So it's about the exec and the security teams being able to deliver some messages to employees, but actually, and more importantly, it's about those employees, wherever they sit in the organisation, being able to pass messages back. So we're getting a much better view of the real risks that lie in the organisation by having that two-way communication. And importantly, it can be measured, because measurement is something that comes up quite a lot. It's easy to see whether a firewall is doing its job because you can look at the analytics. And one of the objections sometimes to doing anything with regards to the human factor is, do we really know that it's working? So opening up this network of people, allowing them to have the conversations, picking people who become your security champions, who take on an additional role within the organisation, suddenly you can see what is happening differently.
So we talked a lot about the cyber world. What about the physical security world? And we live in a very dangerous environment at the moment, where the UK's had 3 terrorist attacks within the past 3 months, using very different modes of attack each time. How can we use your methods to get this message across to the public about vigilance and reporting? Is there anything you can do to help out the police and the public bodies to interface with this problem?
Interesting, we do work alongside the police in the cyber role, but not so much in the physical world. And I think, yes, using the conversational approach again can really spread the message. But we talk about a number of things. We talk about context and we talk about process. Now, I think the context in this particular area about why you would need to behave in a certain way is quite obvious when we're seeing these terrorist attacks. But what about process? And I don't think we hear enough about process. I certainly haven't heard much on the news other than we're advising people to remain vigilant. Well, what does that actually mean? Can we distill that down into a couple of things that people can actually do proactively on a day-to-day basis to remain vigilant? How do they go about doing that?
I think particularly in the community, where community policing is all important, your philosophy could reach out to the community and, report to the police what's different, what's changed, and that will help them considerably to pick up on these things.